What do you think of Emma's incredible journey from a humble waitress to a powerful leader? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Where are you watching from? Drop your city or country in the comments below. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. That way, you won't miss tomorrow's special story, one that could change the way you look at life. Turn on your notifications, join us for more heartwarming tales, and share the love with others. See you in the next video. What happens when kindness meets success? The inspiring journey of Emma Walker. Emma Walker had always believed that kindness was something that came naturally. Working as a waitress at Rosie's Diner in New York City, she faced the daily grind of struggling to make ends meet. Bills piled up, rent was never fully covered, and her paycheck always seemed to fall short. But Emma had a heart of gold. Despite her challenges, she made it her mission to offer kindness whenever she could. She slipped an extra piece of bread to the homeless man who sat outside every night, and if an elderly customer came in alone, she would take a few moments to sit and chat with them. She didn't have much, but she gave what she could, even if it meant skipping meals for herself. But Emma wasn't just any ordinary waitress. She believed that kindness, no matter how small, was a reflection of who a person truly was, not the size of their bank account. One chilly evening, as the sun dipped behind the towering skyscrapers, a sleek black Rolls-Royce pulled up outside the diner. The door opened, and a well-dressed woman stepped out, holding the hand of a young girl in a wheelchair. Emma noticed the little girl immediately. There was something about the way she sat, hands fidgeting nervously, her blue eyes scanning the diner. Something inside Emma's heart tugged at her, and without a second thought, she decided to do something simple, yet meaningful. Emma grabbed a plate, prepared a warm grilled cheese sandwich with a small bowl of tomato soup, and walked over to the little girl. "Hey there, I thought you might be hungry," she said with a smile, setting the plate in front of her. "This one's on me." The girl's eyes widened. "Really?" she asked, her voice filled with surprise. Emma nodded, tucking a napkin gently into the girl's lap. "Enjoy, sweetheart." The girl took a small bite, beaming. "This is so good." "Thank you, Miss Emma," she laughed. Little did Emma know, this simple act of kindness would change the course of her life forever. As the girl's mother returned, her eyes caught the sight of Emma laughing and chatting with her daughter, feeding her like they were old friends. For Eleanor Sinclair, one of the wealthiest women in the country, it was a moment that would shake her to the core. She was used to the best doctors, the best nurses, in a world full of expensive luxuries for her daughter, Lily. But Emma, a waitress with so little, showed kindness without expecting anything in return. This would be the test that would forever change both of their lives. Eleanor Sinclair, the CEO of Sinclair Enterprises and one of the wealthiest business magnates in the country, had built her empire with ruthless determination. She was known for her sharp business acumen and extravagant lifestyle, but as she stood outside Rosie's Diner, watching the waitress interact with her daughter, something in her heart shifted. Eleanor had always ensured that Lily, her young daughter who had been confined to a wheelchair, had everything she needed: the best doctors, the finest nurses, and caregivers. Yet, seeing Emma Walker, a struggling waitress with so little, show her daughter such warmth and care stirred something Eleanor hadn't felt in years. It was a pure act of kindness, expecting nothing in return. Eleanor couldn't help but wonder why someone who had so little was willing to give so freely. No one had ever shown Lily this kind of attention, especially not in a world where wealth and status seemed to rule. As she stood in the cold night air, watching Emma laugh with her daughter, she felt a deep pang in her chest, a mixture of guilt, awe, and something that felt like hope. Eleanor pulled out her phone and made a call. "Jessica," she said, her voice calm but decisive. "I need you to come to Rosie's diner. I want to test something." Half an hour later, Jessica, a trusted assistant, arrived at the diner. She was dressed in plain jeans and a faded hoodie, blending in with the rest of the regulars. Eleanor handed her the instructions. "Go inside, bring Lily out, and don't let the waitress know she's my daughter." Eleanor stood behind the car, watching as Jessica wheeled Lily outside. Lily pouted slightly but agreed to leave her soup behind. As they left the diner, Eleanor leaned down and asked, "Did you like the waitress, sweetheart?" Lily's face lit up as she answered, "She was so nice, Mom. She gave me food for free and said kindness doesn't have a price." Eleanor's chest tightened. Here was a woman with nothing, giving everything, and teaching her daughter a lesson in humanity that no wealth or status could buy. That night, Eleanor made a decision. She would learn everything about Emma Walker, the woman who had changed her perspective on kindness and on life. The following morning, Jessica handed Eleanor all the details, Emma's background, her address, and everything else. Eleanor's curiosity had turned into something more, a determination to offer this woman a chance she never imagined. What Eleanor didn't realize was that Emma's world was about to change in ways neither of them could have predicted. The following morning, Emma walked to her tiny apartment in Brooklyn, exhausted from her late shift at Rosie's diner. She had barely enough energy to make it inside, but as she opened the door, something caught her eye, an envelope in the mailbox, addressed to her in elegant gold lettering. Confused, she tore it open, expecting it to be another bill. But what she found inside nearly made her drop it in shock. It was a job offer from Sinclair Enterprises, a formal letter offering her a corporate position with a six-figure salary. Emma's hands trembled as she read through the letter, her mind struggling to process the unexpected news. This must be a mistake, she thought, her heart pounding in disbelief. Why would a powerful corporation like Sinclair Enterprises want someone like her, a waitress with no college degree and no corporate experience? Still reeling from the shock, Emma hesitated but eventually made her way to the glass skyscraper of Sinclair Enterprises. The moment she stepped through the front doors, a receptionist greeted her and escorted her to a private office. The air inside the office was cool, too cool for comfort, but the gravity of the situation weighed heavily on her chest. As she entered the office, her eyes locked onto the woman sitting behind the massive desk. Eleanor Sinclair, the powerful CEO of Sinclair Enterprises, was looking at her with an unreadable expression. Emma's breath caught in her throat as she approached the desk. "Miss Sinclair, I think there's been a mistake. I'm just a waitress." Eleanor smiled, her gaze unwavering. "There's no mistake, Emma. I watched you. I watched you show my daughter kindness when no one else would. You didn't know who she was, but you treated her like a person, not because of who I am, but because of who you are. That's the kind of person I need in my company." Emma's heart raced as she struggled to comprehend what was happening. "But I don't have a degree, no experience." Eleanor leaned forward, her voice calm and confident. "You have the one thing money can't buy, a good heart. That's why I want you to work for me." Tears welled up in Emma's eyes as she signed the contract, knowing that this moment would forever change the trajectory of her life. She had been seen for who she truly was, a person capable of kindness and compassion. But she also knew that this was only the beginning. The challenges ahead would be many, but the promise of a new life, one filled with purpose and meaning, kept her going. As Emma left Sinclair Enterprises that day, she couldn't shake the feeling that her life was no longer just about survival. It was about something bigger, something that could change the world, one act of kindness at a time. Weeks went by, and Emma's transition into the corporate world was anything but easy. The bustling, fast-paced life of Sinclair Enterprises was nothing like the greasy spoon diner she had worked at for years. Every day felt like a challenge, emails piled up, meetings were endless, and the jargon was overwhelming. But she didn't give up. Determined to prove herself, Emma spent long nights poring over business strategies and asking questions. Slowly, she started understanding the complexities of the job. Her persistence began to pay off. Despite her humble beginnings, Emma's positive attitude and deep kindness quickly earned her the respect of her colleagues. She became known as someone who could be trusted, who would always lend a hand when needed. Even when her tasks seemed daunting, she tackled them with grace, determined to prove that her heart and determination were assets, not weaknesses. One afternoon, during an especially stressful week, Emma found herself staring at her laptop in the company cafeteria, feeling the weight of the pressure bearing down on her. As she stared blankly at the screen, Mark, a colleague, approached her. "Hey, Emma," he said, offering a warm smile. "You look like you could use a break. Want to grab a coffee?" Emma smiled gratefully, accepting the offer. Over coffee, Mark shared his own experiences of starting at Sinclair Enterprises. "It's tough at first, but you'll get the hang of it," he said. "And honestly, your positivity is a breath of fresh air around here. Don't lose that." His words were a reminder that kindness wasn't a weakness, it was a strength. Emma found herself more determined than ever. She wasn't just trying to fit in. She was making a difference. Her approach to leadership, grounded in compassion and respect, had begun to inspire others. A few weeks later, Emma received a heartfelt email from a junior employee named Sarah, thanking her for the encouragement during a stressful meeting. "Your words made a huge difference," Sarah wrote. "You helped me find the confidence I didn't know I had." Emma's heart swelled with pride. She realized that her kindness had the power to inspire others, not just in her personal life, but in the workplace as well. As she continued to navigate the corporate world, Emma understood that her journey wasn't just about climbing the corporate ladder, it was about creating an environment where kindness, integrity, and authenticity were valued above all else. But soon, Emma would face a test like no other. One day, she was asked to make a difficult decision. A high-profile client was pressuring Sinclair Enterprises to cut corners on a project to meet a tight deadline. The financial gain was tempting, but Emma knew that compromising the company's values would be disastrous. Standing firm, she called a meeting with her team, saying, "We need to stay true to our values. Let's find a way to meet the deadline without compromising quality." It was a decision that would change everything. As the project deadline loomed closer, Emma's decision to uphold Sinclair Enterprises' values had started to pay off. Her team worked tirelessly, guided by her leadership and unwavering commitment to quality. Tensions were high, but Emma's calm demeanor provided a steady anchor. The pressure from the client was intense, but Emma held her ground. She reminded her team that integrity mattered more than any short-term financial gain. It wasn't long before they delivered an exceptional product, on time, and without cutting any corners. The client was impressed. They not only accepted the project, but they also signed a long-term contract with Sinclair Enterprises. It was a win for the company and a testament to Emma's leadership. Eleanor, who had been quietly observing, was beyond pleased. After the meeting, she pulled Emma aside. "I'm proud of you, Emma," she said, her voice warm with admiration. "You stood by your principles, and it paid off. That's the kind of leadership this company needs." Emma felt a sense of pride swell in her chest. For the first time, she realized that her approach, leading with kindness, integrity, and empathy, was not only working but was exactly what the corporate world needed. Emma had always feared that kindness might be seen as a weakness, but now, she saw it as a strength, one that made her stand out in an often cold and competitive environment. Months passed, and Emma's role at Sinclair Enterprises continued to evolve. She became more involved in the company's charity division, the Sinclair Foundation, which focused on helping the homeless and disabled. It was here that Emma found her true calling, using her position to create real change in people's lives. Her bond with Lily, who was now a vibrant teenager, grew even stronger. Lily often visited her at the office, and the two would share stories and laughter. Emma had become a second mother to her, and their connection was deeper than ever. One day, as Emma prepared for a major charity gala hosted by the Sinclair Foundation, Eleanor called her into her office. The weight of what Eleanor said next would change everything. "Emma," Eleanor began, "I've been thinking about the future of Sinclair Enterprises. I'm not getting any younger, and I want to make sure the company is in good hands." Emma's heart skipped a beat. "You're not thinking of retiring, are you?" she asked, trying to hide the panic rising in her chest. Eleanor smiled. "Not yet, but I want you to be part of the future." The words that followed were nothing short of a life-changing moment. Emma's eyes widened as Eleanor slid a document across the desk, a succession plan. Eleanor believed in her. She had seen Emma's strength, her leadership, and the kindness that had brought them this far. Emma was the one to carry the legacy of Sinclair Enterprises forward. It was an honor, but with it came a new responsibility, a promise to never lose sight of what truly mattered. What do you think about Emma's incredible journey? Do you believe that kindness, even in a tough and competitive world, can truly make a difference? Emma's story is a powerful reminder that no matter where we come from or what obstacles we face, we all have the ability to impact those around us with our actions. From a humble waitress at Rosie's Diner to becoming the head of Sinclair Enterprises, Emma's rise wasn't just about her career. It was about staying true to herself and using kindness as a driving force for change. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you think kindness is a strength or a weakness in the business world? Have you ever experienced a moment where kindness changed the course of your life or someone else's? Please drop your comments below and share your story with us. And let us know where you're watching from. We always love seeing how far our stories reach and connecting with viewers from around the world. If Emma's story inspired you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more incredible stories like this. Hit the notification bell so you never miss a new episode, because tomorrow's story is going to be just as life-changing. See you in the next video.